You are now listening to the iWalter Show. Real talk about nothing.
Faster than a speeding bullet, more powerful than a locomotive, able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. Look, up in the sky. It's a bird brain. It's a plane. It's iWalter. Yes, it's iWalter, a strange visitor from another planet who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. iWalter, who can change the course of mighty rivers, bend ears with his annoying voice, and who, disguised as Walter Interranti, mild-mannered janitor for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth, nonsense, and the American way. And now, another exciting episode in the adventures of iWalter.
iWalter. Hey, folks. Welcome back. I've been off for quite a while. I've actually been off for about a week now. I've had bronchitis. I still have bronchitis, in fact. I've been on medication to help alleviate some of the coopy cough that I've been having. I apologize. I'm just coughing again. So I try to keep my shows short and sassy. I might even have to do more so. Because, again, I've been off for a while. Hey, I wanted to start out my show, though. I have been off for a long time. I've been really sick. I went to 2 conventions and 1 concert with Rob sorry about that, Rob. With Ministry of Al Jurgensen, and it just really, it was that, and I was in some crappy, dumpy motel, I think, down at Atlantic City outside. And the people were really nice, but the place was really filthy. People put garbage outside of my window. I think that did not help either, so I got really, really sick. That's why I haven't been airing any shows lately. Anyway, a friend's been sending me a lot of stuff on my Facebook page. I'll kind of glance through that, but first, I want to take a little break and play this thing from this woman called the Welfare Queen. It was on webpage. I can even look up that information. I'm going to play this segment first. So I'm going to take a breather for a second and play this. There is actually a video. I basically just MP3'd it. So give me a second. I'm going to post this up.
Okay, EBT is basically about electronic benefit transfer, and it's basically about welfare and having children and just for money, just for the state. So the state of California can pay for WIC, GR, food stamps, daycare. I mean, the state of California, if you want EBT, the state of California is the best place to get your money. They'll pay you the most. And yeah, it's like $221 for GR and about $179 for food. That's for each person. So, yeah. You get free daycare, you get free food, you can go to fast food restaurants now. Domino's Pizza is accepting EBT. McDonald's, I haven't saw a sign for McDonald's. Subway, you can get you can take your EBT card. Like you get $221 in cash. You get free daycare. So if you have 4 kids or 6 kids, you get money for free daycare. So all of them can go to daycare. And most people, they have their friend as the daycare person, and they split the money. I heard all about it. And they split the money for that. And then you have the cash that they give you, and then the lights and gas and the free home. Who would want to work in America? This is what the taxpayers are paying for.
All right, everyone. I hope you were able to hear that. Yeah, you know what? It just basically really disgusted me listening to that BS. I personally think it's quite pathetic. The web link actually was called Conservative Post. It was on Video Welfare Queen Boast. This is what the taxpayers are paying for. I'm sorry, folks. I think that's just really ridiculous. Certainly this was in California, but I think this is ridiculous. Excuse me, folks. Anyway, this is in California, but I think this happens in every Democratic state, in my opinion. And this nonsense has really got to stop. the other day my parents were complaining about, I noticed this different, but they were complaining about, they're retired. My dad's been retired for 8 years. My mom's been probably retired longer. That why are they, they're keep on getting billed, more and more money. They don't have government assistance. They have actually regular insurance of some sort. Maybe it's what you get when you're retired. But they're complaining about, okay, we're still getting billed by these doctors even if we don't show up. Oh, this isn't covered, that isn't covered. Oh, we forgot about this. Well, you know what it is? I expressed this to a friend, and he didn't agree at first, but then he finally agreed with me. It's because you got all these people that are on Obamacare and other ridiculous things, and they're not paying in because now they figured out, hey, wait a minute, I got to pay money in on Obamacare? Yeah, this was in the original thing that Obama kind of put out there. And people don't read the fine print, and now they're discovering, wait a minute, I got to pay all this outrageous, subsidiaries, these costs that are not covered by Obamacare. Like my part that I pay in is more money than I'm paying for my insurance, and it's like, yeah. So it's just ridiculous, I think, and people just don't realize this. They think everything should be given to them for free. Unfortunately, they won't pay anyway, so who ends up paying for it? Well, I hate to say it, comes out in our taxes, or for people who paid taxes all their life and now they're retired, they're getting hit or nailed with higher amount that they got to pay in, thanks to these deadbeats who don't want to work, and they think everything should be given to them for free. And like this lady said, she thinks that, hey, if I have more kids, I'll get more money. Oh, yeah, you will, but it's not enough for these kids to survive on. So what do they end up doing? Most of them end up killing the kids. Or they're just too stupid to realize, listen, okay, I'm going to have 12 kids. I'm going to get all this money. I'll get like a couple grand a month, but you equal it out, these kids are only getting very little to live on, not enough for them to even like barely survive on. So, and they're using the money, because I remember this from the past. Some woman, when I went to Montgomery County Community College, she worked at like some type of welfare office, and she said she got tired of these women that would work for a couple months at a job and deliberately get themselves fired so they could collect. And she even quoted, this was like 20 years ago, though, maybe longer, that she mentioned then that these people then, sorry, I just bumped my speaker thing, they're spend that money on going to nail salons. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, and it's gotten progressively worse over the years, so a lot worse from 20 years ago, which I didn't think could happen, but it's beyond even humorous. Anyway, yesterday was supposed to be Veterans Day. My brother's a veteran, I would say, because he served in the military. He served in my oldest brother. He was in the Air Force for 27 years, and he served in Desert Storm, and he was in Qatar and things like that. Yeah, I know I'm not making a very good description of where he was at, but he was stationed in a lot of places. He had issues, too. He was in the Gulf War. He had emotional and physical issues from being in these wars. So, you try to pay respect for these people. I even rented or bought a few patriotic films. But you know what? These people, nowadays, all they care about is getting drunk in themselves and having a good time. They don't care about that Memorial Day is set aside for our military people. Unlike 4th of July, which is the celebration of our independence, this is for our men and women who serve our country and keep us free, but people don't see that. And the biggest joke was in Baltimore, where there was all these people. There was a large crime thing, and I think that, I swear to God, it said Baltimore cops morale worse than ever seen as crime explodes. And this was yesterday on Memorial Day, or actually 2 days now ago. And it says 11 shootings. I thought there was like 9 deaths. I can't see it right now. You know what? I'm at the point almost I'm just like so disgusted by it, so I just don't even care. And that's a horrible thing to say, but this is on Memorial Day, folks. So, yeah. And then there's this thing, I mean, it's like nonstop with the ridiculous stories I can find so easily without even trying. There's a right-wing news article. That is the name of the website, by the way. It says Australian MP crystal meth addict gouged out his own eyes and ate them. You know, I mean, it's just the whole world is falling apart with like scum and trash. And I mean, it's just, I don't know what to say. I mean, this isn't in our country, but I wouldn't be surprised if something like this would happen in our country, just with these wackos. By the way, there was something I saw on my Facebook page. I put it on my Facebook page, actually. It said UFO caught on tape. So somebody actually drew a UFO on a Post-it note, and, you know, like a hand-drawn one. And then they got Scotch tape and they taped it to a wall. And it was like, yeah, that is hilarious. I love that, by the way. Since I've been off, I haven't said much, but I did go and I actually got to talk once again to Kevin Smith. And that was actually really, I think the man was trying to avoid me at first, Kevin Smith. And, you know, I waited for a good long time. And when I finally got to meet him, I said, yeah, I remember seeing you before. I got to talk to you for a while in Red Bank. And he says, yeah, I remember you. And it's like, yeah, I think he did kind of try to dodge the bullet, and hopefully he didn't have to talk to me again. But I said, you know what? I got a picture of you with your beard, and I want one, or without your beard. I want one with your beard. So I went up on stage, and it was funny. Some guy was supposed to take my picture. I asked him to, because I got right up front. I paid for the extra money for the tickets to sit up front, and I deliberately made sure I waited in line. I got right on fucking stage. Sorry about that, folks. I got like right up on stage, and it was incredible, though. So I got face-to-face with the man. Michael Rooker came out. I think that's how you say his name. He was on Walking Dead as well. And also Jason Mewes. And I felt bad. I didn't give any money to Jason, though. But when I asked this guy, hey, you know, first I asked Kevin Smith, can I get a picture with you again? And he said, yeah, come on up on stage. I was like, that's cool. I think I pissed off some people, especially this one young girl who was trying to smooth talk Kevin Smith. She said, oh, I want to work for you. And he said, yeah, you know, he's always nice to everybody, folks. But trust me, he's being nice because he doesn't know how to, you know, say, I can't help you guys. He can't say no. And I feel really bad for him. And by the way, he did lose a lot of weight, too. He was really thin. He even mentioned, I think, on one of his Facebook things, or he's on a couple different social media things, and he basically said he doesn't feel any different from losing all this weight. It's like, dude, you look incredible, and you almost had a freaking heart attack. So, yeah, I think it was important you lost. So he looks great. So anyway, just to be goofy, I made sure, he always makes these goofy faces and like dick jokes, thinking you're not looking. So he did this with the mic, pretending like he gave a goofy face and that he was holding his cock, but it was his microphone. So I grabbed the mic, like pretend I was grabbing his penis. And it was pretty funny, the pictures. I have them on my Facebook page. They've been up for a while. So anyway, yeah, that was the highlight. And then I got really sick. When I got, like, it started during the weekend, I deliberately went down to see Kevin Smith. I got a couple pictures of some different really decent-looking girls and stuff that were cosplay people. Excuse me about that, folks. I'm sorry, I'm coughing now. Make sure I didn't redline my thing. But, yeah, I mean, it was nice to meet the man again. It made a really big deal to me because after seeing and spending like $600 to see David Tennant and Billy Piper, it was like incredible to see somebody who was actually being very nice to me. Unfortunately, I lost my voice then after that, so I couldn't do any stories on anything. So, I mean, there's a lot of good stories. I watched a lot of different things. I remember there was this movie, by the way, folks, I bought. It was called, which I recommend almost. I didn't like it that much, but it's worth checking out. And it was a movie by, I mentioned this to a guy at work too, George Romero. He tried to break that mold of just doing, dead movies about zombies. So he did make a movie, and I asked this guy at work, he never heard of it. And it was like, you haven't heard of it? It was called The Crazies, which was a remake. They remade the movie, but it was a George Romero film. Now, George Romero did other things too, but he always seemed like he got so typecasted, and that's typecasted on making films. That's not really typecasting, though. But he got like stuck in the thing of, oh, well, the only way I can make money is by making these horror films about zombies. And it's like, yeah, it's kind of true. So back in 1976, he tried to make a film called Martin, and Martin was about a vampire that wasn't your traditional vampire. So the woman who played in Night of the Living Dead, she was a kid at the time. She was a little girl who killed her mother and her dad because she turned into a zombie. She got bitten by a zombie. She turns into one. She was a really nice woman to me, too. I'm sorry, I can't remember her name, but I was saying, yeah, a lot of George Romero's things. Night of the Living Dead I thought was his best film he ever did. She said, oh, no, you got to check out Martin. Martin was also a really good film by George Romero. And most of his films he does do in Pittsburgh area, Pennsylvania, so to speak. So it's been sitting there since I went to this horror fest. I finally was like so sick that I couldn't do anything else. I'm going to watch some of these movies now. I actually even rented or bought on iTunes that movie. I'm jumping around because I've been off for so long, of The Thing, the remake by John Carpenter. I've never seen the film, and I sat down, I bought it for $15 on iTunes. I didn't feel like waiting. It was on a holiday weekend, not many places, and I was just gagging and coughing really bad. So I ended up buying it on iTunes. I watched it. I was like, you know what, this is actually really good. It has that John Carpenter feel. His best films are Halloween, The Fog. There was one, They Live, I think it's called. That was actually really interesting. It's a tongue-in-cheek kind of humor movie, a little bit political, I would say. But it was overall, it was kind of campy looking, and it didn't get the best ratings because it was a campy movie. But yeah, also the remake he did of The Thing, they gave it really good reviews. So I was like, you know what, I got to sit down. I know a friend who really liked that movie, and I actually did enjoy it a lot. It was really something else. But yeah, the movie that George Romero did, it got really good ratings. It was almost perfect, of Martin. It was all right, and it definitely had some interesting points in the film, so I was watching that. I actually sat down, you're going to laugh, folks, but I sat down yesterday. I'm not a big Woody Allen fan, and for some reason, it was like, I'm so sick. I actually, by the way, for the holidays, and it just came out last Tuesday, and I was sick as a dog, but I made sure to go over to Best Buy, and I bought two things. I bought a new hard drive for my old Apple laptop. I wanted to upgrade it, so I got a hybrid, which it really made a difference. The speed of my old laptop I bought used at Micro Center over in St. David's, it was a difference between night and day. It was a nightmare to put in, though. It was a real nightmare to put in because there were so many freaking screws. It was the last plastic Apple laptop you were ever going to find. It was the 2010 model. It was the white plastic one. They don't make them anymore because they want to save the environment, so to speak. So I don't think Jobs really could care less. He did, but I don't think he really did care that much. Everything was made of plastic when the man was alive. Now that he's dead and you got Tim Cook in there, everything's made of metal, and it's more expensive, actually. Anyway, I bought that, and I bought American Sniper, the movie about Chris. I can't remember his last name. So I couldn't watch it. I was just so sick. It's like, listen, I want to enjoy this film when I watch it. So I gave it to my parents. My dad, he loved it. I would think he really liked it. A friend recommended the movie when it was out in the theaters, and my mom didn't like it. She thought it was too violent. So I still haven't watched that. I was watching these other things. So I ended up renting some films, bought some films on iTunes. One in particular, I'm going to look up. I didn't think it was that great, but it wasn't that bad. It was a true story because I was trying to get in the mood for this weekend, and it was like on sale for $7. I'm trying to look at my list of films that I basically bought. It was something into the sun or something. It was about these military guys that basically they were, it was World War II, and they were basically looking for some Japanese submarines, and they ran out of gas. They ended up in the middle of the ocean, and how they survived for literally over a month. I was trying to see if I could find the name of that. Something, I think it was called Under the Sun, though. Or Into the Sun. I'm going to see if I can find it. Sunshine, no. But yeah, it was a really good, well, I wouldn't say really good, because there was one part that was, it was like 3 guys, I think. They all survived. None of them died. At one point you thought the one guy did die, but there's this one part they had no food, no water, but yet they survived for over a month and a half with nothing. So they got to the point, the one guy got crazy, and he actually got, they were advertising a lot. He got a knife. He had a pocket knife, and he stabbed it in the water trying to get fish, get fish. And he stabbed a freaking shark, and they brought it on board, and they ate it. And they were basically on a life raft. And it's like, okay, these guys obviously they were out for a month and a half. But no offense, it looked so corny, and it was like, that's like a fisherman's tale, I would guess. I find it really hard to believe that this guy just miraculously got a shark and was able to stab it, and then they were eating like whatever the shark had eaten, which was fish. Which obviously, it was a little ridiculous, and I found it not believable. Again, it was something called Into the Sun, Under the Sun. I can't remember. When I do remember, I'm going to definitely mention it at a later time, I guess. I'm trying to still look for it for some reason. But my movies. Okay, I'm going to check my movies. Unwatched. Home videos. No, unwatched. No, it's not coming up because I only really downloaded one film. Anyway, yeah, it was not too bad. I was just trying to get into the feel of the weekend. So, yeah, but it was this movie about these military guys who got stuck in the middle of the ocean. Unfortunately, I'm really sorry I didn't watch American Sniper, even though I bought it. And it's funny, I kind of got interested in buying it. I said, oh, we're going to give $1 towards the Marines or something, for the wounded soldiers or the soldiers that are taken down. And it's like, you're only given a freaking $1. And I mean, you charged $25 or $27 because I bought the Blu-ray with the DVD deluxe box set. Excuse me, folks, but I was hoping to give more than that. By the way, I'm looking at this right now. This is kind of disturbing, too. They're making a big deal out of, in Baltimore about that guy getting killed supposedly by a cop, which they feel is deliberately. But they're not making a fuss about this poor woman who was a cop, and she was ready to leave from maternity leave, and she got shot and killed the day before she was supposed to go on maternity leave. That's not a big deal because she was white. And I'm sorry, folks, that's really sad. I'm looking at it right now. I kind of popped up, so I figured I'd throw it in my niche. I feel bad. Hey, this lady gave her life, to be a cop. She felt, and she worked right up, and now like her family has no mother. I mean, I felt really bad, but they're not making a big fuss about it. That was no big deal. It's a white woman. Who cares? And a black guy had killed her. I mean, I think that's really sad. It's really pathetic, and they're not making a big deal out of it as though if it was the shoe was on the other foot, so to speak. Yeah, it's titled, it was on IJ Review, It says, cop killed just a day before maternity leave. Now in the town is showing love to who she left behind. But, I mean, but they're not making a big deal out of it. They really aren't. You won't hear about this story about this cop that was taken down, and it was a woman taken down when she was on duty. She was ready for maternity leave. So, yeah, that's really really disturbing, though. Oh, by the way, I have to bring this up, too. This poor lady, I gave money towards it. I felt so bad. Dude, I was ready to cry when I saw this poor woman. I took it to heart. But it was on GoFundMe.com. Her name's Rachel, and the woman weighs like 40 freaking pounds. She's got really bad anorexia, and I saw this, and it just broke me up. And it's like, you know what? It's not a whole heck of a lot of money, but I'm going to at least give $10 to feel like I've contributed something. I don't contribute to a lot of things. Like, I have a friend, he's really into porn, and he was telling me about some stupid porn site he goes to all the time, and there was something, it was called Kink is the name of the website, and some woman, she was, she got big freaking breast implants, and she got fake lips, the whole 9 yards, and she basically allowed some guy to put his bloody penis on one of the porns they were shooting into her, and now she's got HIV. She's HIV positive. She's got AIDS, and she gave it, I think, to her boyfriend. So, you know what? I hate to say it. I have no sympathy for the woman. I am sorry. I apologize for being that way. But something like this, where this woman, she's got some emotional issue, and she was a beautiful woman, not the porn star, but this girl who's got really severe, Rachel, who has severe anorexia. I mean, she just is skin and bones, and I felt so bad to people that I had to give something to her, at least something. I don't care what it was, because it just broke me up. So I've been following that pretty closely. So other things, I mean, I got a plethora of stories I can tell you. I'm actually looking forward to Supergirl. I am not going to download the leaked copy that's been posted. I'm going to wait and buy it legitimately on iTunes, or if it's on CBS, I could probably just watch the shows and suffer through the commercials, but I'm not going to lose my internet over downloading it illegally like I did in the past. I've stopped that over a year ago. My sobriety of downloading things off of Kick-Ass and stuff have been done for a long time now. So, and it's going to probably continue for the rest of my life. I can't afford to get in trouble. I've gotten in trouble multiple times. By the way, they've been posting a lot on that Suicide Squad too. Now, one picture that was posted was the Batmobile, which I'm hoping Ben Affleck's not going to do it, though, because I'm really afraid it's going to be the kiss of death for that man if he actually does a cameo in the Suicide Squad movie, because they've been posting every frame of that freaking movie. They posted a crap load of stuff online today, and, I mean, it's just freaking ridiculous. But the Batmobile looks really cool. I will give it that much credit. I'm just afraid that, if Ben Affleck even makes light of, that movie by showing up in there as a cameo, he's just going to basically should kiss his ass goodbye, because that could end, both sides. I'm trying to look for pictures, because there was a picture of the Batmobile that got leaked. I think it was on comicbook.com. Maybe not. I'm trying to look. I thought it was comicbook.com. Some interesting stories, folks. Sorry about that. Here it is. Yeah, I did put it up. It says new high-quality images of the Batmobile were set on... sorry, I just loaded the page. On David... I can't pronounce the name. Suicide Squad, the guy who's making the movie. It looks really awesome. The movie itself just looks like it's going to be a total bomb. It's going to probably go right to video. Unfortunately, I'm sorry to say that. I mean, people seem like they're really psyched. It's like this film looks crappy. What is it? Will Smith's character of I want to say Bullseye. Is it Bullseye? I can't remember. It just looks really bad. I'm sorry. Let me see. Yeah, because they were mentioned, and here's another interesting article, by the way. It was on Uprocks. And it just said Harley Quinn was going to have a larger role in Arrow, but because of the movie coming out now, they got a different actress, and they also basically short-lived Harley Quinn on Arrow, because she was supposed to have a bigger character role, and it got shot down because of that. And there was the other character, too. Yeah, Deadshot. I apologize. Was Deadshot actually got shot down, too, no puns intended, because he was supposed to have a bigger role in Arrow as well. I know a friend told me, oh, yeah, they're bringing the what do you call it, the Suicide Squad to Arrow. And it was like, dude, at this point, I'm going to have to watch this show. And then they got shot down because, no puns intended again, because of this movie coming out. So they basically cut the character short. Anyway, yeah, and it's funny, there was a different actor who played Deadshot. I mean, I really like Will Smith. I think he's a cool dude. And, well, he's from Philadelphia area, too, so that makes a big difference, too. But he is not the best character, and he has to show his freaking face. I mean, no offense, but as far as I remember, I looked up pictures of Deadshot. Deadshot never shows his face. He's under a mask. So, unfortunately, Will Smith has to show his face. And I said to a friend, and I said this a couple shows ago, I said, you know what, it's going to get to the point now that, you know, you might as well just throw a big freaking spider into the mix like they did when Will Smith did Wild Wild West, because this movie is going to be a total disaster, and it's going to probably end up taking down, you know, with it, you know, the Batman versus Superman movie. It's gonna feed into that. I'm sorry. So I'm hoping I'm wrong. Anyway, I want to cut this show a little bit short if I can. I know I've been off for a long time. I just want to mention two things. Thank you to Todd Thomas, but he sent me this thing that I thought was pretty funny late tonight, and it was in the Daily Mail. I call it the UK Daily Mail, and it's titled "The Loft Wafer Ice Cream Cone Named After Adolf Hitler on Sale in India Sparks Anger in Germany." And there's a bunch of these photos of ice cream that's called Hitler ice cream with Adolf Hitler's picture on there. I think it's freaking hilarious, dude. He's even got a swastika hat on, and they're selling it in India. I think if they sold it over here, I would have to buy the freaking ice cream just for, you know, all the wrong reasons, because I think it's just funny. I'm sorry. Todd also sent me, which I'm not going to watch. It's some video. I'll see where it's linked to. Dude Comedy, and it's about this woman. She's 22 years old, and she's addicted to chewing on urinated soaked diapers, and it looks like there's more than urine in those freaking diapers. She's also looks like she's suckling on crap. So that was pretty disgustingly hilarious. I found one on somebody. It was I had taken it from another link, and it was one of the drag queens websites. The guy is really cool. Pandora. He had posted, because I never knew this. I thought it was pretty freaking cool. It was on dangerousminds.net, and it says vintage photos of drag queens before it was safe to be out and proud. And this goes back to like the 1900s and probably before with some of these photos. So, yeah, the pictures are pretty scary, but I thought it was kind of interesting. It's like, dude, you found a really interesting article. So I put that on my Facebook page. Yeah, it looks really cool, though. I'm sorry, my voice is starting to go, too. So, one I thought was really cool, and I didn't know it was in Pennsylvania, and I felt really bad for this girl. This girl is like a little genius, and I'm not even kidding. It says, girl forced to take down her treehouse. This was on myphillyfox.com. And it looks like the location was Leet Township, Pennsylvania. This little girl, she's like 14 years old. She made a treehouse, and I'm telling you, this is phenomenal. This thing looks futuristic. This girl literally figured out, she's like a straight A student too. She's no idiot. She's a very smart young cookie. She made this like tree house, and the newscaster like videotaped it and stuff inside. It was like, you know what? I want a tree house like that. I would like want to live in it. But it was in the front lawn, and you know, some sucky neighbors got mad and they complained. They said, "Oh, you're not allowed to put a tree house because it obstructs the view in the front of the house." It's like up in a freaking tree, but it looks really freaking cool. She made the roof like clear, so you could, like, at night she could like check the stars, look at the stars. Like, she put a telescope also, but the whole top of the roof is like clear. I think it's probably like plexiglass. She put a flat screen TV in there, and she even had a birdhouse. It looks so freaking cool. And it's like, you know what, I just tell those people to go F off. I mean, I think it's sad. I wish they could kind of help her move the treehouse to a different location, because she really put some work into it. It's like, God, for a 14-year-old, this girl is like a genius. So, oh, by the way, it was funny. Well, there was one story a friend had sent me. Thank you again, Todd Thomas. It was on the Daily Mail. It says, woman 21 is photographed on a leash by horrified shoppers in New York Mall, but she insists on being walked by her fiance. It says by her fiance is romantic. And yeah, she likes to be treated. She has got a leash and a collar, and she gets walked around. She thinks like it's hot to do that around the mall in New York. I don't know if it's the mall I was at, but yeah, I think it was pretty funny. There's some other good stories on my thing. I might leave it at this one before I really lose my voice. But it says, check out the Necronomicon from Ash vs. Evil Dead. Now, that's coming out, I think, this fall. Yeah, and it's going to be on Stars. Oh, I'm praying that they actually put that you can probably get it right away and you don't have to wait till the end of the season to watch it. Because I prefer to watch it that way, right away, and not have to wait, because I'm a big Evil Dead fan. I loved it. I mean, I got into it after seeing the second film in the movie theaters of Evil Dead 2. That movie just, like, I thought that was like the original one. I thought they just gave it Evil Dead 2 as a name, and then I found out later, yeah, there was an Evil Dead. But those movies, I loved it. Well, actually, I didn't like Army of Darkness at all. I like the remake, though. But yeah, it's finally coming out this fall. So Sam Raimi, I know not Sam Raimi, but yeah, it's Sam Raimi's baby. But Bruce Campbell, I know he was supposed to be at the Comic-Con. He had to bail out because of the shooting of this TV series. Sorry about that, folks. But yeah, I'm actually looking forward to it. So I'm hoping it's something I can kind of get right away. I got plenty of other stories I could probably mention, but it's a little bit too long for my throat, and I've been off for a long time. So otherwise, hopefully, folks, you enjoyed it, minus me hacking. And I hope everyone, I can, I might maybe take another breather. I don't know yet. Hopefully not for as long as I did the last time, but I may, take a break. Because bronchitis is not a cool thing to have. So everyone, at least I am back tonight, and hopefully everybody had a good Memorial Day. In 2 weeks from now, I know it's going to laugh, folks, but I bought a ticket to Taylor Swift down at Lincoln Financial down in Philly, and that's 2 Saturdays, not this coming Saturday, but the following Saturday I'll be going to that on the weekend. So everyone, have a good morning. It is now Wednesday morning, so I don't know when I'll be back with this cold. Alrighty, folks. I'll talk to you. I'll be back later on sometime.